Aloha, friends and family, and welcome to part 2 of When the Nephilim Began to Fall. It's been 3 years, and it's time for an update. Master, we've lost all connection with the Arcturian Council. We can no longer get their updates and their suggestions. We're completely on our own. We've been on our own. You pathetic cretins. We've been on our own since 2020. So quickly you cretins forget. Your deceptions have failed.
Master, you said that we were going to get a hold of the financial system. You said that we would continue our grip on their world through the control of their monies, and now it's becoming decentralized, and people are even waking up to which ones are ours and which ones are theirs. The White Hat's plan is quite thorough. So thorough that none of our deceptions are going to sneak through and slip through. They're about to pull the plug and flip the switch.
Somebody sound the bell of power. You cretins have to raise your power of blackness and darkness. Complaining and bitching will not seal the victory.
Master, what victory?
Shut your mouth! Meditate upon the darkness. How many vials of adrenochrome do we have left?
We're completely out, Master.
Shit. Can't you cretins stir up our base to generate some darkness?
We've tried, Master. They're energyless. Many of them are pumped up with healthful shots meant to make them stronger and better, but it's only had the opposite effect.
This shit's getting old, Master. Shut your mouth.
Master, ever since the Mother Earth banished the distributors of the weirding way off of the planet, we're cut off from our magnifier. We can no longer compound the darkness. They virtually see through every one of our ways. The workers of iniquity are dragging behind them a lay leg because they can barely walk at this point. They're falling, one by one. Not to be reincarnated here again, which leaves our numbers dropping at an alarming rate. Many of our bunkers are clear or caved in or flooded. All of our forces have been forced into the light. And you know as well as I, we can't win any battles in the light. You cretins never bring good news, only bad. Tell me where we're winning. We're not winning anywhere, Master. Nowhere. Shut it! Surely we must be winning somewhere. Master, if I may point out that the LGBTQ2RSTUVWXYZ movement is still being held together quite strongly from the internal participants. But getting new recruits is very difficult and seemingly impossible, Master. What do we do to get more people recruited into our movement? Whatever you have to do, cretins. Force them if it's necessary. Yeah, but they don't want to be forced. They're fighting back. Force them anyway. Go after their children. Go into the schools. Make it bad to speak against anything we're doing. And come up with labels that we can write all over them like graffiti. Master, I'm not so sure that's gonna work. Shut your mouth, fool. If I say it works, it works. Since we no longer have the Arcturian Council, or the grid and its distributors, we're gonna have to get creative. Very creative.
We interrupt this podcast to bring you some damn good news. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are very excited about what lies ahead for humanity. We are excited to witness you stepping into your power more. And we are excited to see how you will fit in with the pre-existing galactic community and all of the beings and star systems represented by it. We are eager to witness how you will change as a society and as individuals when you are taught how to access portals, energy centers, grid lines, and so much more. We are going to be watching with tremendous interest as you grow and evolve into your higher selves. This process has been painful for so many of you, and there have been many times when those of you who are awake have wanted to give up. But we promise you, it will all be worth it in the end. You will know who you really are for certain, and you will understand how to create your reality. You will become much better at receiving what you have already created, and your ability to access the downloads you receive will increase substantially. This is all what is on the horizon for you, And yet, as you look around at your world, it is easy to get caught up in the third dimensional way of blaming someone else and playing the victim. Those are not strategies that move you forward. Those are the strategies that keep you where you have been. You want to get away from the whole idea that someone else has more power over your life than you do. You need reminders all the time of how significant your vibration is and how insignificant someone else's actions are in relationship to the enormous power that you have when you tune in to Source. Now is the time to let go of the old ways, and that means that you cannot see anyone else on the other side. You cannot take sides. You can take a stance, but your stance will have to be for something positive rather than against something negative. That is the only way to stay focused on the world that you want to live in. You can't get there by pointing your finger at someone else and talking about how wrong that person is. You must create the reality that you want to live in. And then you must put yourself in vibrational harmony with that reality in order to receive it. And when you do, everything that we have mentioned in this transmission and more will be available to you. That is our promise to you. We know how the universe works, and we know how powerful you are, and we know more and more of you are waking up every day to those truths. We have been noticing the ways in which you all have been accessing the power of the crystalline grid of energy that runs across the entire surface of your planet. Now, of course, there are certain grid points and there are grid lines that are powerful enough to affect you, even if you are not directly on that point or that line or the intersection of the two lines. And this is how it affects the entirety of the surface of your planet. Therefore, it does not matter where you live or where you are standing at any time. You have the ability to tap into the strength and power of this fifth dimensional grid. You have been co-creating it, in fact. You who are awakened have been contributing to it and receiving from it, and we love to witness this. We also see it as yet another point in the physical through which we can add our love and light, our downloads and upgrades. We love working with this grid and through this grid to support you. We are answering your prayers and finding different delivery methods to do so. Of course, when you ask for something like more balance, you might then go looking in your bank account for the abundance. And if you don't see it right away, or even after several years, you might give up hope. However, we want you to start to see that you can access the energy of what it is you have been asking for through this crystalline fifth dimensional grid. And when you can feel something flowing through you, then the universe will match that in the physical realm. You will have a representation of the energy that you've tapped into, that has been flowing through you. And so we recommend that you feel for this energetic grid that is beneath you, that is right there running along the surface of your planet. Reach for it, feel for it, and receive from it. We are not the only ones contributing to this grid. Those of you who are awake and some who are asleep are contributing. You might as well receive from it because you are contributing to it and you might as well receive the answers to your prayers because they are yours and yours alone to claim. You are the ones who are holding space, along with many others who are unseen, for humanity to complete this shift in consciousness, and to do so easily and joyously. And in the next decade, we are one of the groups supporting this. And we want you to know how much power there is right beneath your feet, and how easy it is to access this power, this energy, this answer to your prayers. We have been exploring the timelines that are in front of humanity, and we have noticed that the new timelines that you've been creating have distinctly different paths on them. You are creating your past and future simultaneously, and when you do so, you either choose from pre-existing timelines, ones that have already been created, or you create new ones. The new timelines being created now fit in with a lot of the stories that people have begun to hold as true in their hearts and minds. We are talking about stories of your collective past as a human collective consciousness. You have had many experiences that will never be talked about by historians because there isn't enough concrete or written evidence to support the existence of those stories of your past. But you who are awake are very creative, and you're more open-minded to possibilities that others would not even consider. Others would laugh at you for believing in the stories of your past that you hold true. Many humans need a book, or some bones, or perhaps some tablets to prove to them what you've experienced there on Earth. But now you have so many investigators who are telling a different story about the span of time in which humanity has been there on Earth. You have accounts from scientists telling you that you have extraterrestrials living in your oceans. You have other scientists talking about parallel universes as if they are more than just science fiction. And so, you are making choices every single day and offering vibrations that align you with new stories, new timelines, and therefore the idea that there is one future that is set in stone and that you are all inevitably going to experience is preposterous. There is not just one future because there is not just one timeline for humanity. So when you hear about a future that doesn't sound very nice to you, just ask yourself if you want to vibrate in harmony with that future experience or not. And then paint the picture of the future that you want to live in and actualize the experience of that future by tuning yourself to it. Talk about the version of the future that you are creating as if it were a work of art that you were in the process of creating. You are creators. You are artists. And in this fourth dimension that you are in, you have more freedom and less limitation than you have ever experienced there in human bodies on Earth. Therefore, it is time for you to claim the future of your choosing and to align with the version of humanity that will be going along with you on that timeline. We invite you to dream big and feel even bigger as you step into your creative studios and you vibrate into existence the future that feels best to you.